All right, today we're talking about something that is near and dear to many of your guys' hearts is worrying about other people's money. But what I'm going to tell you is the trick about other people's money, with other people's money, if you will. So the trick with other people's money is very simple. A lot of people be pocket watching. Pocket watching is great, so you know who has your money, right? If you think about it, I'm gonna give you a play just off rip. When it comes to real estate, everything is public record when anybody buys a property. So you could see if they're not smart about it, which many people aren't, you're going to see their full name and everything about them, basically. And so by seeing that, it helps you decide some things, right? Because you can also see who bought the property, who funded the property as well. And so now you can see, okay, this person has two LLCs on this property. Well, maybe one is a bank, right? A regular bank, traditional loan. And then another one is a private money lender, or it could be a hard money lender, right? But now when you see these things, and this is again public information, you could literally go find their information, call them up, and then see if you could make a deal happen for yourself. Have them look at your deal. And the best part is they want to deploy their money. And because they want to deploy their money, they're looking for good deals. And they're going to tell you if the deal is good or if it's bad because they're going to do their due diligence. They're not just going to give you the money, right? And so the trick is you got to find where the money is. And there's a bunch of places. A lot of videos back, I talked about when it comes to searching for your ideal client, right? Most of the times, if you're doing social media marketing, for the example, somebody's looking for a social media manager right now, and they have a list of or a job posting on Indeed, and they're like, "Hey, I need this place filled." Well, you could easily slide in as a company and fill that position, right? But this is the same play with private money or with real estate. You could see every piece of information that you guys see. That's why the rich say, "Own nothing, control everything." Because they don't necessarily own anything in their name. And that's how they avoid a lot of situations. Because yeah, you could sue the person. Hey, but the person's broke. Like, hey, we don't got no money. I'm making less money than you, basically, right? On paper. But owning the corporation, right? But you don't know I own the corporation because it's set up in a way that allows me to have some privacy. So now, every time I do transactions, you don't know who owns it. I could tell you I own 1234 Main Street, and then you look it up and you don't see my name on it. But ding, 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 I could dangle the keys right in front of your face, right? But that's the play, right? So the trick with at least in real estate aspect of things, other people's money is literally just looking at who did deals, and you look at who did deals recently, and then you're able to grab that information. And you're going to have to do research. It's not just as simple as, oh, boom, a public record. I see them, they give me all the information I need, and I'm good to go. No, it gives you the clues that you need to find this individual or find this number of this individual, right? And that's very important because then it allows you to communicate with them, whether it's an email, a phone number, what have you, some type of communication level, right? And you could stack up this list like crazy. You could see who has big money. You could see people who have they funded the deal with 100K. They funded the deal with $1 million. You don't know. You just look at it. And you can see people funding multiple deals, right? And so those are the real active people, if you will. Real quick, I didn't say who I was. My name is Emmanuel Velasco. In case you guys didn't know, I'm on a mission to help 7,200 people learn everything I know from mindset to business and beyond so that they can each help another 7,200 people do the same. And if you're with that mission, just make sure you stay tuned because I'm gonna go ahead give you my number so that you could go ahead and shoot me a text. No calls, just shoot me a text, and we'll see what we can do to help you because I'm literally here to be a resource to help you guys. Because the more I help you, the true selfishness is the more I help you, the more I help myself. Because if I give you information, I'm only going to get more information back, right? If I give you money, I'm only going to get more money back. It's called circulation. All right, back to the trick with other people's money. So, money is everywhere, right? And so, if you literally look, you could look around this room and there's money, right? You look all around this room, there's money. Everything in this room is money. Even if this room was bare, it would still be money, right? And so, because of that, The best part is that it's not hard to find, right? You could literally go to the bank if you have good credit, and that makes your life easier. You go to the bank, boom, you pull the money from the bank. Very easy, right? And that's still considered other people's money, even though it's under your credit line, right? Because that credit line is not your money. It doesn't exist without you having a relationship with the bank. Just like if you have somebody who has an abundance of wealth, and you're like, hey, can you hold me down with 100 grand? I'm trying to do this venture on this, and that. Okay, man, here, boom. That's how simple it really happens. If you literally articulate yourself well and explain yourself well, then you'll get the access to money. And so the trick is having something that they can make money on. The reason why banks are so willing to give you money, look at the interest rate on credit cards. Fucking ridiculous. 20% plus percent, right? If you have a good one, 15%, right? Even if you do, a HELOC or a personal line of credit, it's like 8%. Like, it's not no crazy deals. They're still making a bunch of money on that money that they're giving to you. So that's why they're more than willing to give you that money, because they're making money when they give you that money. So it's the same principle with everybody else. If the deal is so good, that's why you see, even though a lot of these companies fail, like from Silicon Valley or whatever, these startups, these tech startups, it's like the reason why people are interested in funding that deal, because it's like they missed out on Uber. Some missed out on Facebook. They missed out on all these different tech deals because, like, I want to say it's Gary Vee. He said Uber came to him and said, invest 25,000. He said, I'm good. And then he was like, yeah, that was a mistake. I should have invested in them. Right. But he's fine with it. It happens. But it's like you guys see the opportunity in order to join into the opportunity. Right. And if you can't see the vision, then it's like, if they can't see the vision, the people who want to give you the money, if they can't see the vision either, that's a problem. So you got to make the vision so crystal clear that they can understand everything that's going on. And it's like a no brainer. It's like, yeah, shit, if this shit really happens, okay, I'm going to give you 50 and I'm going to make 1 million all day. How many 50s you need? I ain't going to give you 20 50s, but I may give you four, right? So the deal has to be that good, right? And if it is that good, it makes everything else easier. Let me just charge up my devices real quick. Um, but that's the play, really, right? The trick is literally to just grab a good deal. It's like if you have a good deal in real estate, it again, it always depends on the deal. So if you have a good deal in real estate, the deal will sell itself. You know how they say, or maybe you don't know this, but in the car industry, they're like the car sells itself. It's true to a certain extent. But let's say I'm walking you through the car. All right, come with me. I walk into the car and I'm like, yeah, man, here's the keys. Let's throw you the keys. Here's the keys. Here you go. That's the car right there. Check it out. If you want to buy it, let me know. Or you make an experience. Yo, man, like you pull up, the car's already wide open. All the doors are open, right? Ready to go. It's like, yo, I want you to comb through, look through all this stuff. Look. Come feel this leather. Feel this thing. Wow, that's nice, right? That's not leather. That's leather now, right? Feel the steering wheel. Like get in there, man. Sit in the front seat. See how it feels. That feels nice, don't it? Right? It's if it's a truck, it's like, hey, you feel like you're on top of the world, don't you? Come, hey, come. We gotta walk around this whole thing. Make sure you see everything, and then you give them the full experience of the car, versus being like, all right, yeah, that's the car. There you go, motherfucker. Buy that shit. It's different. The person that's given the experience will hands down always win for the most part. Of course, it also depends on the numbers of the deal and stuff like that. But if this person does a good job at giving, that's what pretty much sells most of the times is the experience. And that process was so seamless. Yeah, I paid a little extra, but the extra was it worth it to not be there for a whole day? Because hey, back in the day, shit, to do a fucking car deal, you show up when the car dealership opens and you're leaving when the car dealership closes. That's literally how it was back in the day. Nowadays, it might be a couple of hours, right? But those couple of hours are hassles. Recently, or maybe like a year ago, I went with my mom to a dealership to find this car. And so the personnel there literally threw everybody under the bus. It's like, fuck your salesman. Oh, don't worry, my sales manager will tell you, explain the stuff about the car. And then the sales manager says, oh, yeah, that salesman don't know shit about what he's talking about. Throw him under the bus. And again, the experience wasn't good. Bad experience. So we left. Where did we buy the car? From a place that gave us a good experience, right? Of course, the specifics had to line up. It's like maybe you're focusing on the monthly payment, maybe you're focusing on the total payment, maybe you're focusing on the overall deal, right? It all depends. But now, if that experience is there and it's smooth and seamless, well, shit, I want to do that again. Hey, they made it easier for me. So when I have to buy a car again, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go to Emmanuel's Autos and handle that shit because not only did he get me right, but the car was in good condition. It wasn't a lemon. How hard is that? Not that difficult. And so, again, providing the people who are looking to give you money and showing them that experience. It's like selling them the vacation, if you will, and giving that to them and being like, yeah, this is what it looks like now, but what it really looks like is this. It's like, imagine if the guy with Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, he didn't necessarily need to sell the experience. All he had to really say is like, people are disconnected. And I'm just trying to connect everybody through the online social, the internet, right? It wasn't even really a big thing back then. And so now it's a big thing. But again, because he provided such an experience for his users, that buzz like shot throughout everybody. And they were like shocked. And of course, if you saw the movie, he stole that shit from a couple of guys, the idea. And it's like, this is a perfect point to prove that great artists steal, right? There's good artists, and then there's great artists, and great artists steal. Remember that. You don't have to start an idea from scratch. You could literally pull from somebody else. There's plenty of there's plenty of social medias, right? Facebook was like, it was MySpace, and then it led to Facebook, and then it was Instagram, and then it was Snapchat, and all these other ones, right? Twitter, and now it's X. But it's like because of the experience of one, it led to the next. So again, when you get one person to loan you money, right, and you get to use their other people's money, you pay them back. How likely are they to give it back to you again? Oh, they're shit. It was seamless the first time. Might as well give you them, throw you a bone again because shit, might as well double it because I know that this guy he's gonna follow through and pay for what he asked for. And then it's like, okay, you want credibility? Go ask my lending partner on this deal and talk to him about like his experience with dealing with me. And maybe he might be big in this industry, maybe he might not be big in the industry. Regardless of the matter, it still adds to your credibility. And so the trick is the first one is probably the hardest. After that, it gets easier because you have a track record now. And so again with the bank, the way the bank works, right? So they no one wants to be the first one to lend you money, right? So nobody wants to give you that first 10K or what have you. And so if another bank proves that they can lend you that money, and then you go to another bank and it's like, yeah, like I already got a $10,000 card from Amex, and then it's like, oh well, shit, here's another one. Oh shit, next bank, here's another one, right? Because of the track record, all it takes is one in order to like literally push that forward and change everything. Now access to money ain't shit. It's like again, the credit game is so deep and so vast that you could run it up with credit very easily and get hundreds of thousands of dollars relatively easy, right? It does take work, but it's really easy in the sense of the process is the same from the first bank to the next bank. If you ever apply to a credit card, that's basically the same process that you got to do for the next credit card, the next loan. If you got a car, like that application is way more deeper, I would say, than most other stuff. And so it's like, again, you need to prove it once. And once you prove it once, I'm going to give you some game. When it comes to car loans, there's tiers, right? So there's basically 30,000 and below. That's tier one. Then there's 30,000 to 60,000. And then there's basically, that's when you really break into the tier, and it's like, and the sky's the limit at that point. But it's like, okay, you need to prove that you could pay off a $30,000 loan. Then you're able to easily get $30,000 to $60,000 loan. Then you gotta prove that you could pay that off. And then once you do that, it's like it doubles, right? So now you're in the six-figure mark. And so it's very, very easy to run that up and then be able to get that Rolls Royce, get that Audi R8 or what have you, right? Because you proved your track record. You took the steps and you followed the steps, and those steps equaled out to you being able to access money way easier than everybody else. Going from my first car, I had to put money down, right? To my second car, I just walked in there and I told them what the fuck it was. Hey, like, this is what I want. I want it under this payment. If you guys could do that, I would take the car. Okay, cool. Goes in there, comes back, and then he's like, "Yeah, this is what I could do." I was like, "Fuck you. That's not my number. I ain't moving." Okay, hold on 1 second. Goes back in the back. You know, they love playing this game. And then boom, they do it again. And I'm like, that's still above my number. I'm not with that. Okay, so they keep doing that back and forth. Eventually, they reach my number because I wanted to get to a range. I was younger. I wanted to get within a range where it was $400 or less, and with car payment and insurance. Right, I was able to get there, and so it was actually cheaper than the $400 mark. And so I was able to get there. And I was like, okay, I'll take the deal now. But there's other scenarios where if you didn't set your track record up or set yourself up that way, you just like, I'll just take the car, whatever you could give me. If you could give me approved, I'll just hop in the car and drive that shit. Okay, here's a $965 monthly payment. Uh, okay, like I accept. I accept. I need this car. It's like, do you need it or do you desire it to like fuck around? Because it was really a fuck around car. That's the play. So I gave you the play when it comes to real estate. I gave you the play when it comes to cars. I'm probably gonna leave it at that in terms of plays. But when it comes down to it, it's very simple, right? You just have to have a deal that's good enough, right? The deal that's good enough, again, when it comes to loans, it's like any type of lending of money, they're making money by giving you the money. So they're happy as long as it makes sense and it's like your profile makes sense to them. They're willing to take the risk because why? Well, I'm making 13% on this loan. This is fucking fantastic. I'm making sometimes, if it's a bad credit situation, it's like I'm making 30% on this loan. That's fucked, right? But people accept it. People put $20,000 down just to have a 2,300, 2,400 car payment. And it's because they're not financially literate in the sense of, no, that's not the play to make money. All right, you know what? I'm gonna give you one more play and I'm bouncing. It reminded me of this play. All right, when you build a relationship with a bank, don't immediately get their products. This is the play that you should do. You should put money in, let it sit. Ideally, 10,000. 5,000 is okay, but ideally 10,000. You put 10,000 in the bank. You let that ferment for 21 days, 30 days. And then after that, you're like, "Hey bank, I need some loans, I need some credit lines." And they'll be a lot more willing to work with you than anybody else because they're like, "Hey, this guy has been because instantly when you put the money in the bank, they just throw that shit out to the choir and they're like, "Hey, you want a loan? I got a new 10K." So that means I could lend you out another 100K. And so that's the play. And they just keep on doing that forever, right? And so it's like, okay, you already allowed us to make money on your money without asking us for money. So, okay, sure. You want this loan? We'll do that. And then that's when you go crazy. You get all the loans, all their products, right? You get a regular loan, you get a credit card or all the credit cards, right? and you just get all the services. And then that's how you run it up. And that's how you get to the multi six figure mark and beyond, because it's only limited. I mean, it's like you'll look thirsty at certain points, but if you do all the work and within 30 days, you'll be in good shape pretty much. But like I said, I was going to tell you my number so you guys could text me if you guys need help. So it's 737-864-0824. Text only. If you call, I am not responding straight up. But if you text, I'll respond. So that's been the video. That's the trick with other people's money. And now you know quite a few tricks. And I really do hope that you pass these tricks along to the people you love, the people you care about, because they need this information too. Don't hoard it. I used to hoard this information, and what hoarding got me was data destruction. That's what hoarding got me. So don't let the knowledge get destroyed, get forgotten, because that sucks, to be honest. But that's been the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. ish Central Standard Time. Peace.